good morning, everybody. So, I'm at the gym here on the base, doing a little walking on the stairs. I just thought I would follow up to yesterday's video a little bit, mainly in regards to the dream / out-of-body experience that I had back in 2012. So, I've always been quite a lucid dreamer, and lucid dreaming is essentially where there's a lot of great detail in your dreams, where the dream almost seems too real, or even more real than this reality. And another aspect of a lucid dream is that you are aware in the dream that you're dreaming. So once you become aware you're in a dream, you can shape the dream the way that you please to, if you have enough focus to kind of be able to do that. It takes quite a bit of practice. Anyways, so the dream I had back in 2012, I was lucid in one of my dreams, and I was in the mountains on the west coast, somewhere up in California. I was driving this really fast sports car, and I was like, dude, I'm dreaming. And once I realized that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fly. So I decided to go up in the air, and I kind of just go straight up. So I'm flying, but I keep flying, and what happens is I start flying past everything. Planets, galaxies, I can't even see the Earth anymore. Stars, just everything you can think of in the cosmos. I'm flying back past all this stuff. And finally I slow down, I find this planet somewhat blue on the surface, and I end up landing there. And so the first being that I'm greeted by is something similar to the picture on this shirt. And at the time I didn't know who or what this entity was, but it was very imposing, very frightening. I felt like it could pretty much see through me. It was a very intense experience. So I attempted to go away from this thing because I just didn't feel comfortable in its presence. And so I start to turn around, and then I turn back, and this entity is changed into more of an old woman, grandmother type figure, along with kind of the feeling that you'd have from a grandmother, like very wise and very loving, kind. And so the first thing she says to me is, "It's been so long since you've been here. Where have you been?" I was like, "I've been on Earth, living my life, this life." And she's like, "It's so great to see you. We're so happy you're back, because we don't have many of your race come here anymore." It's like, "Oh, my race? What do you mean?" "Oh, like, so not many humans come here." I'm guessing is what she meant. So she had something that was kind of similar to a car, like a vehicle that we could travel in. So we get in this car, and we kind of have a conversation about the planet and what's happened on it and whatnot. And we eventually end up in this town. It's kind of run down. It's almost like it was kind of put together with a bunch of scrap wood from Lowe's or something. This whole village, kind of like an Old West looking village. We're walking through it, talking about life on this planet, and it was just kind of a wild experience. we eventually end up in this, like, I guess the closest thing I can describe it to is a bar or a pub. And we sat down at this pub inside, and I'm talking to these people that somehow I know who all these people are, and I'm just like BSing with them, talking with them. And then I go to take a drink that they've given me, and as I'm drinking it, I snap back to my body. I'm instantly back in my earth meat suit. And that was the end of the dream. And back in 2012, I had no clue what this meant. And only until a couple of Saturdays ago, I kind of was able to bring everything full circle and see that in 2012, the earth began its shift. You can read about this stuff in the future, or you can stay tuned for future videos from me about dimensions. But in 2012, the fifth dimension became available to humanity as a whole. And since then, I feel that my spirit guides and my higher self have been trying to get me to wake up as to what's going on, so that I can wake others up, so that I can kind of be an antenna or a beacon to other folks, and help them with their own spiritual journeys. Because I've been through quite a lot of difficult times in my life. I had pretty decent parents, but some of my childhood wasn't the best time in the world. My dad drank a whole lot. I was kind of not able to have a normal adolescence because I was so worried about him, losing his mind, flipping out, hurting my mom, hurting my sister, things like that. Since then, I've forgiven everyone. I've forgiven him. I've forgiven myself. And so now is the time in my life where I'm trying to help other people realize this shift in consciousness. Because the shift in consciousness isn't a place. A lot of people are still living in the third dimension. The third dimension is essentially the old way of living on Earth, and it's currently disintegrating and will eventually be completely gone. And whether humanity likes it or not, we're all going to be living in the fifth dimension here shortly, depending on how you look at time. But time itself isn't even real. You can ask any scientist to explain it to you. A lot of people have a whole bunch of different ideas about what time is. Well, my idea is that time is just something we agree on. So if I have appointments, if I have to be places at a certain time, then if time is just something I agree with, if I'm just looking at the clock and I agree with it, then, on a whim, arbitrarily, like, I'm always on time, so it doesn't really matter. So that's kind of my dream experience, one of my most profound out-of-body experiences, because I was absolutely not in this body, not on this planet. And I was able to bring everything full circle with the aid of quite a few cool people on Instagram talking me through some of this stuff, mentioning to me that Ganesh may have been the entity that I experienced and that I met. And then my QHHT session, which stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, that really it took me back to that planet that I visited in 2012, and I was able to see that I actually lived across the road from that bar. So I'm gonna finish up my workout here. I'm gonna hit up some Zumba, second class of the day. I hope everybody has a blessed day. Go out and make a positive impact on someone's life. Show someone some love. And till I see y'all again, namaste.